those people watching this video online, quickly read that and hit pause. Good. Okay, we're zooming ahead. Example 1. If f of x equals 3x minus 2 to the 4, find f prime of x. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Okay, now this is one of the reasons chain rule is so powerful. Up until this moment, what would I have had to do to solve this? Foil everything, okay? And do we know how foiling goes? Poorly. So we're going to pretend like that looks like x to the 4. That's what we're going to pretend that looks like. So can somebody tell me the derivative of x to the 4? What is the derivative of x to the 4 going to be? Go ahead. Yeah, so I'm going to say f prime of x. Instead of calling it 4x to the 3, I'm going to call it 4 times 3x minus 2 to the 3. Okay, because the bracket's still going to stay the same as the bracket. Okay, so everyone see that? So it's like whatever was in the bracket stays the same, but the power just comes down. Then we're going to take the derivative of the bracket. Okay, so Katie, can you take the derivative of 3x minus 2, please? Times 3. Okay, so everyone see what happened there, right? So the 4 came down, it turned to whatever the thing was cubed, right? And then times by the derivative of the inside. So I'm going to neaten that up to be 12 times 3x minus 2 cubed. Okay, I'll give you guys one of these to try for yourselves, and we'll move on to something more awesome. All right, please be brave and ask a question there for that. So I'm going to talk to it one more time. Think of it like x to the 4th. What would you do? 4 comes down, then the exponent drops 1. The bracket stays the same, then you take the derivative of the brackets. Okay? Good? Yes? All right, example 2. If f of x, we'll go g of x. If g of x is equal to 8, 5x3 minus 4x cubed, find g prime of x. So think of the questions we can do. Find the equation of the tangent of g double prime of 3, like we do all sorts of, Kate isn't looking impressed, okay, but there's lots of cool things we could do with this there now, okay? So, instead of just hoping this question will go away, I could try and do the first step. So you're going to take the derivative of the outside part first, then multiply that times the derivative of the inside. Okay? If you don't know how to start, that's going to be sort of like 8 to the something cubed. Deal with that. It's like 8x cubed or 8 to the something cubed. Okay? Try to pause the video. Questions were, oh my god. Hello. The questions were, am I going to foil out my answer? The answer is always going to be no. The only time you foil something out is when you're adding or subtracting it, right? Because that's like in factor form the way it is there, right? So if you're adding or subtracting 2 parts, then of course foil it out to make it look nice. But if it's in factor form, leave it in factor form. Okay, who wants to be brave? Please. Matt, go. Christina, you can do it next if you get it wrong. Here we go.
Okay, 24 times 5x cubed minus 4x.
Okay, so f prime of x, go ahead.
24 bracket 5x cubed minus 4x all squared.
Yeah.
And then times 15x squared minus 4.
Cool. And that's it. That's good. I'm happy with that for an answer. If you multiply stuff in, that's fine, but I'm happy with that for an answer. Good. Were most people able to get something close to that? H. What's that? Oh, yes. Okay. Good question. This is, by the way, is g prime of x. Yeah, because what happened was, okay, good question. Because that's just a coefficient on the front, so nothing happens to it. Right? So what's going to happen, the 3 will come down to 3. That's like 3 times 8 gives you 24. Right, that's one of our power rules, right? If I do like the derivative of 3x squared, that's 6x, right? So the same thing here. If I take the derivative of 8x cubed, that's going to be 24x squared. Okay, but instead of being x, it's going to be that messy in the middle. Okay, let's move on to something fun here, okay? Example 3. Okay, now you're probably saying, yeah, Mr. Sadler, I can do this, no problem. If I were to give this to you using, excuse me, limits, you could do it. Okay, it would take you a whole page. It would be the hardest question on your first test. Now this is simple. Can someone be brave and give me the first step that we have to do here for this? Very good, excellent. Okay, so I'm going to change this to f of x is equal to bracket 3x plus 1 to the 1/2. I'd like you guys to take it from there, please. Okay? Because that's the essential step. Take it from there, please, if you'd be so kind. Brave person not in the front row, sorry, front row people. And other than Evan. Evan's in the front row today. Okay, somebody else here, please. Are the other 10 of you? Somebody brave. Yeah, Shalina, go ahead. Yeah, right. F5x equals?
3 over 2 bracket 3x plus 1.
Wow, you're... Okay, good. I'm going to do it in 2 steps. Also in this class, I'm going to be...
I'm going to change the name.
You always use positive exponents. Okay, so 3 over 2 root. Either one of the bottom ones is okay. Okay, but you have to use positive exponents, not negative exponents. Okay, so what happened then with the 1/2 changed to negative 1/2, right? And the 1/2 came down. The derivative then of 3x plus 1 is just 3. All right, and then it simplifies like that. Okay, are you guys ready to cry yet? Are you guys feeling good about yourselves yet? I gotta take the ego down a little bit here. You're kind of really happy. If I was the top, I'd say, hey Michael, you do this next example for the class to bring them all down a little bit. Okay. We're gonna be getting into these a lot more later in the week. Okay, so these have all been easy examples, and we want to one that is of maybe 4 to 10 difficulty, and I think you can do it. So it's going to say if g of x is equal to bracket 3x minus 2 bracket 4x plus 1 cubed. Find g prime of x. Okay, I will go through this with you. You guys want to try it yourselves, or do you want me to do it for you? Do it for you? Okay, what type of strategy are we going to take up for this one? Amy, go ahead.
I'm going to do the second and first, second thing.
Sort of those.
You
I
split
don't
it up.
No, you can't split it up. What are we going to do? What type of derivative is this going to be? Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be like a product rule. That's what this is going to be. Okay, so you're going to take the derivative of one, the derivative of the other one. Okay, but then the problem is when you take the derivative of the second bracket, it's going to be a chain there. Okay, so let's start with this. It is going to be a product rule. Okay, so let's start here with the first one. So I'm going to say g prime of x. Okay, can someone be brave and take the derivative of 3x minus 2? 3, well, lovely, excellent. Okay, so far so good? Plus, I'm going to write my 3x minus 2. Now here comes the tricky part. 4x plus 1 all cubed. Can someone be brave and try and do the derivative of 4x plus 1 cubed, please? Good. I did it in 2 steps. You're exactly right. So the 3 is going to come down, 4x plus 1 squared times 4. Now, please be brave. This is starting to get heavy duty. Okay, there's a lot going on here. If you're just scribbling, that's okay. But think about what just happened there, okay? So 3x minus 2 changed to 3. 4x plus 1 cubed stayed the same. 3x plus 2 stayed the same. The derivative of 4x plus 1 cubed, excuse me, was 3 bracket 4x plus 1 squared times 4. Good? Okay, now for the mean part. Because, oh sorry, go ahead.
The derivative of 4x, say if it was 4x squared plus 1, the derivative would be 4x, and would you go again? Like,
No.
Okay.
No. Oh.
Yeah, that's a no.
Again, we'll get excited here in a sec. I'll show you an awesome test. Now I just thought of a test question. Okay, now here's the key point to this here now. And I want you guys to focus up here, because this is one thing I'm a stickler about. Okay? So I said to, Jeff was saying, do you want me to FOIL it out? And I said, no thanks, unless it's added or subtracted. Michael, good to see you.
Yeah,
You're,
be here.
I just used your name in vain 30 seconds ago.
My name in vain.
Well, because I was.
That is like against the one commandment.
I want to be the good cop, I want you to be the bad cop, so I want you to give him this example here, okay? But I'll take it. Okay, so the one thing I am going to, can I talk here, please? The one thing I am going to be stickly about for this is I need you to, instead of factoring, FOILing out everything, we want to take out a common factor from each one to combine, okay? So now we're going to, please put a star beside this.
You're doing the cheating I was doing yesterday.
Okay, so for both of these terms, what's the same in both of them? Does anyone see anything that's the same in both of them? 4x plus 1 squared, good. Anything else?
3.
I see a 3. So I'm going to take out a common factor of 3 bracket 4x plus 1 squared. Okay. Now for the tricky part. What's left? If I take away from the first term a 3 times 4x plus 1 squared, what am I left with?
4x plus 1.
4x plus 1, good. On the right-hand side, if I take out a 3 4x plus 1 squared, what am I left with? Close? Good.
3x minus 2.
Yeah, 4 times 3x minus 2. And of course, that's looking good, but not yet great. What's my final step before I'm done? Yeah, I heard massive combine. Hopefully everyone else did too. I'm just going to neaten this up here, okay? So it's going to be g prime of x equals 3 4x plus 1 squared times 4x plus 1 plus 12x minus 8, which is g prime of x is equal to 3 after 4x plus 1 squared 16x plus 7. As much as make you happy, that question. Yes. How? Okay, now this is fundamentally important here, and I don't mean, I'm not trying to pick on you. This is horribly important. The reason this is nice is because I'm going to ask you very, very soon to say, solving this is equal to 0. Okay, so it's already factored out, so you can find the roots of this very, very easily in this form. In this form, it's impossible to find the roots. Okay, so that's why we're wanting to do it here, because roots are going to, when we get to graphing, roots will be very, very important for something like this. I'll give you one of these to try, and Michael's just come back to you. Michael, what you should be thinking in your little mind is how to get from here to here, because that's what you're doing next year. It's going backwards, okay? Because that's what you're going to do next year, anybody who's going on to calculus next year in university, okay? That's called a difficult question, that's what that's called, okay? I'll give you guys one of these to try right now, then we'll go on to a word problem, then we'll stop for the day. Example 5. We'll say if f of x equals okay, so this one's dedicated oh my goodness, sorry. Excuse me. To Matt, you can thank him for this one because he wanted to know what would happen if there was an x squared inside that bracket instead of just an x, which is fine. Okay, it's not that much more difficult, but he just wanted to see what would happen. He also let me dream up a question for the assignment, which I'll have to fix up tonight for that. So I'd stop in this video. Don't worry, don't blame Matt. Blame evil Mr. Sadler.